Hello, welcome to Simon's Pro Wrestling Show. Kinda, not really. It's the same time we usually do our second Pro Wrestling the Show of the week. But let's just be completely honest. I liked AEW Dynamite and I liked NXT from what I've seen. I've kind of watched it on clip form on social media before it comes over here in the UK. And I was just like, there's not that much to talk about today. And we will talk about some wrestling as and when we go, but I thought I promised to do more of these and I haven't done. So I thought this would be a great time to use the wrestling time to do an Ask Miller Anything, a Q&A. We can have a chat. We can talk about whatever you want. If you want to talk about the Alien on on AEW, or you want to talk about the Dark Order, or you want to talk about the Finn Balor versus Adam Cole match, Johnny Gargano, we can do all of that. And basically the way it works is nice and simple. Just ask your questions in the chat. Obviously, if you do a super chat, I will 100% answer your question because I like to treat my YouTube channel as a shop. If you put money in, you certainly deserve something back. But I'll do my best you can. And you can literally ask anything you want. There's no rules. You can ask me about wrestling, fitness, music, life, religion, drugs. You can ask whatever you want, basically, and I will talk about it. But a shout out to everyone listening on the podcast feed too. A shout out to everyone watching live on YouTube right now. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. Just search for Simon Miller and you can find it. Or if you are a URL fiend, it's youtube.com/The Miller Report Rules. Would have changed that now, but it's how we live and learn. And of course, all of my content is sponsored by Patreon.com. Not sponsored, supported by Patreon.com/Simon Miller 316. So if you want to sort of do me a little holiday solid, check it out, but you don't have to. And SimonMiller.BigCartel.com as well for merchandise. And SimonMiller316 on Instagram and Twitter. We've already got some super chats, which is amazing. Before I even began, that's very kind. So let's go through them first. Non-WWE guy says, "Happy holidays, you beautiful bald mother lover." I love how I've got this bald thing over. You see, own it. Own these things. I started calling myself a bald asshole. Now other people call me a bald asshole. I'm all right with it. And to you, my friend, are any stereotypes about Jewish people that are or aren't true? What a question that is. Well, it's the same as all stereotypes. Some are no, even some are true and some aren't true. I mean, they're all nonsense, right? As are most stereotypes, because we're all individual human beings. One of the weirdest things I get when I tell people I am Jewish is they give me the response, "We don't look Jewish." I'm like, that's massively offensive, just in case you are interested. So no, I don't pigeonhole people like that. I know what you're saying and where you're coming from. But yeah, I don't pigeonhole people like that. I kind of look at it like, you're a human being first, and then whatever you decide to take on as an individual, that's what not necessarily defines you, but that's what makes you the unique person you are. So no, I don't think so. The only times I've ever really ran into that is, people being assholes. But we don't need to talk about that today unless you should so wish. So no, I would say that no, there aren't. I mean, obviously the big one about Jewish people, and it's very offensive, at least I find it offensive, and I'm sure others do as well, is that, all Jews are money grabbing and stuff like that. That's incredible. So I know lots of people that are money grabbing. I know lots of people that aren't money grabbing. But again, that just goes down to anti-Semitism and racism and bigotry, which unfortunately in 2019 seems to be not necessarily more prevalent than ever, but social media has certainly shone a spotlight onto it. So yeah. Brandon Carvalho, my man, says in Super Chat, give your hand on the heart, any metal bands you'd recommend, something in the deathcore realm? See, I'm more of someone that's going to be asking you for stuff like that, but I will recommend you. Let me find their name. Are they deathcore? Probably not, but I do absolutely love them, and they're pretty heavy. They're called Discarnate, spelt Dyscarnate. They got an album called With All Their Might. I think you will like it. More techie metal than death metal as well, but these are the bands I usually recommend to people that are into music and don't know. Heart of a Coward, another one as well, right here from Milton Keynes. Again, more tech metal, but check out those two bands. Hopefully they'll have something for you. Shelby Lynn in the super chat says, "Simon, my gosh, my grandfather passed away suddenly Sunday night. Your videos are all we've had on since then. Thank you for your constant positivity and cheer." Well, I feel bad for smiling, but that genuinely hit me a little bit. Look, Shelby, first of all, I've been there, right? I was talking to somebody else about this. Yeah, I mean, any kind of death is crazy because it's so ultimate, right? It's absolute. There's nothing you can do except trying to deal with it, especially someone like a grandparent that has been there since, well, forever, it feels like, of course. So I feel your pain. But that's a lovely thing to say, Shelby. I mean, I'm not usually lost for words, but stuff like that does make me lost for words because sometimes I do just sit here and make content and upload it because I enjoy it. But to know that it can actually have that kind of effect is pretty humbling and it's pretty empowering. So you're very, very welcome. If I am able to do that, then hell yeah. Again, I feel pretty honoured that I'm even in this position to begin with. I feel pretty privileged. So thank you, and all the thoughts to you and your family. As someone that has now been through that, 2 times with grandfathers and obviously 2 times with grandmothers, you will be okay. You will deal with it in time. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't suck, especially this time of year. I think that's fair to say. Just the weird connotations that we put on December and Christmas time and holidays. It does make it worse. But Shelby, I will continue to upload videos and hopefully put a smile. Hopefully put a smile on your face. That's always my goal. And like I say, while I am going to take a couple of days off, I plan to continue making content all of next week because I love doing it. It's as simple as that. So if I can help, hell yeah. Nighttime Sky in the Super Chat says, another donation for your personal project. That's very nice, Nighttime Sky. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's been a good 12 months as well for my personal projects, I feel like. So, yeah, thank you. Jeffrey W in the Super Chat says, G'day, Simon. Happy Hanukkah. Thanks, my friend. Starts 3 days, I think, Hanukkah, the 22nd this year. My wrestling debut went well. Thanks for all the advice on not being nervous. Hope you've had a good day. Hell yeah, Jeffrey. And what a great way to finish 2019. If you can send me more information, do. But I'm pleased. That genuinely makes me happy. And now, I promise you, get the first one out of the way. If you have got the bug, which I'm sure you do, you just love it more and more and more. And you'll look back on 12 months' time and you'll be like, oh, man. Here I am. Dude, I can't remember where you're based, Jeffrey. Let me know. We got to have a match. I don't know how we'd ever figured that out, but we got to have a match. Jock the Gin in the Super Chat says, no question, just support and appreciation, hand on heart. John the Gin, I recognize your name. You're here a lot. I appreciate that, my friend. And nicely, Brandon Carvalho in the Super Chat has come back to me and said, I'd recommend The Gloom in the Corner. Great metal band. I think you'll love them. Dude, I'm going to do this live on camera. I got a big list. I don't know if Undead's here today. Shout out to Undead, but I listened to all her stuff. I need to actually review it and feed back on it. I'm going to put you on her list right now, which is just becoming my list. So Gloom in the corner. Oh, that's not wrong. Gloom in the corner. There we go. Done. Thank you, my friend. Right, let's go and grab some other questions. Simon, are you a vegan? No, I'm not vegan, but I massively respect anybody. I respect all walks of life. Like, I have made some changes this year because I massively think that, treating the environment and listening to the stuff we're being told is important. So I cut all beef out of my diet, which I know is a small change to make, but I did that. And I drive a tiny car anyway. I've been doing that for years. I mean, I'm not going to pretend that was solely to do with the environment, but it is something I had in my mind. So there are small things that I try and do, but I could do more. And again, it's another thing that I'm looking at to see what I can do it. And I would certainly introduce more, but without wanting to get into my poor digestive health, there are certain things that a vegan diet promotes that just don't sit well with me. Like edamame beans and stuff like that is just it's a bad route for old Miller. So we don't do that. How will you celebrate Hanukkah? I'm Jewish and from Israel. Do you have a synagogue where you're at? Well, that's amazing. Well, man, you're in Israel. I think that's incredible. I don't say you're in Israel, but you're from Israel. How will I celebrate Hanukkah? I mean, nothing too out of the ordinary. I'll go see my family. We'll exchange, a couple of presents. We don't give presents out over 8 days. I used to do that when my grandparents were still alive. But then it's kind of just become one big holiday thing at the moment. I wouldn't call it Christmas. I wouldn't call it Hanukkah. I would just call it using the holiday season to get together. But yeah, we give little trinkets out to each other and so forth. I light a menorah. I'll say the prayers. I'll do all of that because again, as we talked about here on my channel, I love my religion. I'm proud of my religion, but it's not something I feel like I need to go around and shout about. That's just not my kind of thing. When are you going to finish the Star Wars game? It's a great question. We will finish it, I promise. Life just got really crazy as always. Taxes got in the way, if I'm honest. I had to get my taxes done. I was like, oh my gosh, if I don't get my taxes done this week, I'm not going to get them done. But we finished them on Tuesday, so we will get back to the Star Wars game. I'll finish it. Even if only you and I watch, I will finish it, I promise. Happy Star Wars Day, Simon. Of course, Star Wars is out today. I've already seen everyone mad about Star Wars. I should have called it something to do with Star Wars. Everyone's mad about Star Wars. It's crap, it's rubbish. I'm going to go see it as soon as I can. I know how I'm going to feel about it. It's the same as I felt about the last one. Can I understand where people are coming from? Yes, to a certain degree. But will I enjoy it because it has lightsabers and Jedis and Siths? Yes, because that's all I need. The music starts. I put a couple of thumbs up 2 hours later. I don't massively buy into this idea of the lore and the series is really important. Of course it is, because you have childhood memories. But just because they take a story and head in a different direction to what you were expecting, okay, that's not a bad thing. That's just a creative thing. And I'm all right with it. I don't mind. Undead is here. So we're just talking about her. Saying, Simon, I missed Mox being on AEW, but we got Darby Allin, so that was amazing. Love being the elite. Have you caught up yet? We'll go away. We'll send my weekly rant on Patreon. It's not a rant. Undead. I should say that as well, yeah, because one of the things we do on the Patreon, which is why I do this, like a mini advert, if you are a $5 plus Patreon, we do Q&As every week, and you can ask, just be this, ask whatever you want. We do a private live stream, we just have a chat. I love doing them. We get into some crazy conversations sometimes, and Undead is always contributing to them. I quite liked Moxley not being on AEW this week. I thought it makes him more of a superstar. I thought maybe not having MJF was a little bit of a misjudgment, because I really think you need to fuel that right now. But again, we won't see Jon Moxley now to the end of the year, and it makes him feel like a big deal. What was he doing? Where was he going? So I was quite a fan of that. And I'd like the Darby Allin Cody progression. Like, we're going to get them having a match on January the 1st, I believe. But I was a bit confused about the Blade and the Butcher and the Bunny winning that match. They've only been there 2 weeks. They've been brought in to stop Cody, and they've already failed. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, I think that's his name, has absolutely wasted his money. I could have done a better job with that. I mean, obviously I couldn't. See, I know what you see. I'm so behind on being the elite. So behind. I've got like 4 or 5 to watch. Is there somebody at my door? No. I've got like 4 or 5 to watch. I think now that's going to be my Christmas stuff. When I actually switch off for a couple of days, I'm just going to watch Being the Elite. And all my friends and family being like, what are you watching, boy? And I'll be like, you leave me alone. Nighttime Sky in the super chat just says humdinger, because you've been watching Kayfabe News, and I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Thank you. That puts a smile on my face. AJ Parker in the super chat. Thank you, AJ. Do you have any holiday season food drink in the UK? Do we? I don't know if I'm the right person to ask that because of my weird, crazy, like healthy food diet. Do we have, pigs in blankets, which are sausages and bacon, but I would presume that maybe that's a global thing. I've never had that, obviously, because, again, the theme of this one is Judaism. I don't eat bacon. I never have, so I don't know what that tastes like. Or sausages. I've had chicken sausages. Otherwise, turkey. It's just a roast dinner. It's a roast dinner. And Christmas pudding, which I don't like, by the way. Not a big fan of Christmas pudding. I'd much rather just have a normal pudding. But no, I think it's just the same old, really. But if anyone knows any different, drop it in the chat and we can get into it. Jeffrey W in the super chat again. I'll send you a video of the match somehow. I'll do it. I'd love it. I'd get such a kick out of it. And we can talk about it. I'm not saying I'm great and give you great feedback, but if you want it, I certainly will. I have an idea of all the super chat money I send you to save it up and come to Pro Wrestling Darwin based in Northern Australia, and we can have an ups and downs match. Deal, haha. Dude, yes, I would do that. If I ever somehow got to go to Australia to have a wrestling match, I'd probably keel over and die. Because going to Australia actually scares me because I'm not a good flyer. So that flight intimidates me. But to do opportunities like that, you close your eyes, you cross your fingers, and you get there. I'm going to tease this as much as I can. I do have some overseas wrestling news soon, but I can't talk about it till 2020. But you never know when these things are going to go ahead. It's a wrestling thing. It could vanish tomorrow for all I know. But we will see. Hopefully 2020 is going to be a good year for wrestling, especially if me and Jeffrey figure it out. But either way, massive shout out to Jeffrey. I'll give you a round of applause. Weird and cheesy thing to do, but we're doing it anyway. I love people going after this kind of stuff. I hope you had a good time. Malculky Quinn in the super chat says, is Sting just chatting, really pushing for that Taker match? Yeah, he is, isn't he? So yeah, if you didn't see, Sting came out the other day and said that he still thinks about the Undertaker versus him match at WrestleMania all the time. And if he got the green light, he'd get in shape and he knows that he can do it. I get worried about that kind of stuff because I remember the injury he had against Seth Rollins and it scared the crap out of me, especially when I found out it was because of his neck. So do I need to see it? Not necessarily, because I put health first, but it would be a cool moment. Do I think we'll actually get it? No, because I don't think you can actually do the match now. I think Goldberg versus Undertaker has taught us that we should be smart with these things. And I think people may be annoyed even if they do like a little skit. Like I saw loads of people saying, well, what can happen is like Elias or Baron Corbin can be out there confronting the Undertaker and then Sting can come and they can just beat him up. I think people may feel a little bit cheated if they didn't get Sting versus the Undertaker. But then you can flip it the other way and say, yeah, but something's better than nothing. I would imagine you're not going to see it, McCulkey. If somebody put a gun to my head, I would say it's unlikely. We'll see. Lanai D in the super chat. Lanai, been a while. Hope you're doing all right. Are you still playing Mario Kart Tour? Also, can you do some mental health videos on your channel? They are so reassuring and helpful. I am still playing Mario Kart Tour. Play Mario Kart Tour every time on a train or a bus. I'm the only person that loves Mario Kart Tour. I've still spent £0, 0 pence. So I can't get mad about all the microtransaction stuff. And I think I've played it so much now, even if I did drop like a fiver, I wouldn't feel ripped off. I feel like that game deserves my money, the amount of enjoyment I've got out of it. As for the mental health stuff, yes, I will, Anaya. A lot of people have. I stopped doing them because I worried I was repeating myself, because there are certain sort of headlines when it comes to those kind of topics, like, anxiety, depression, body image, religion. I did them all. But people, you're not the first. So yes, I will. 2020, we'll start them off again. I think we'll try and do one a week. And maybe we can kind of crowdsource topics to talk about, be it on Twitter or at the end of a video. But yeah, let's kick it off. Let's kick it off again in 2020. And yeah, if people want, I'm happy to do them. Like, I'm super passionate about it. An advocate, as is the term. But I never want to feel like I'm doing them for, like I said in another video, of course I want views. That's why we go on YouTube. The more views you get, the more subscribers you get, the better. But I do them because I'm passionate about them, and I never wanted it to seem like I was just pushing them on people. But a lot of people have said that, so Lanai, yes, absolutely, we'll do them. Andy Long in the Super Chat says, have some money. Happy holidays. Thanks, man. If I had money, I'd throw it back at you. I appreciate that. Happy holidays to you too. Some people don't like happy holidays, do they? They get a bit upset by it. I don't mind. Baz Hoban in the Super Chat says, you ain't missing out on bacon. It's overrated. Baz, surely that's a controversial opinion. I can't give you a take on it either way, but surely that's going to wind some people up. Let's find out. Let me know. What do people think about bacon? I can't weigh into this. I'd love to be able to, but I can't. Someone asked me if I've ever been to Australia. No, I've never been to Australia. Again, it would freak me out. Are you interested in getting a manager anytime soon? Look, man, if it suits the story and everybody involved was up for it, I would take a manager tomorrow. Tips for gaining weight. We talked about this on the wrestling pod the other day. Somebody asked. It's such a dumb answer, but you just got to eat. And if you really do find eating hard, I would do a bit of researching and do a bit of reading about a good weight gainer shake. Again, some of them have like 700 calories in it. Just make sure there's one that's low sugar, because you'll put on so much bad weight so quick. Well, maybe you won't. Everybody's different. But get a reputable one. They usually cost quite a bit of money. But you add 2 of those to your normal diet and you should put on weight. Also, make sure what age you are as well, because obviously as you grow up, your metabolism will slow down, so you'll naturally put on more weight. So if you're still like 17, 18, 19, 20, just eat and stoke those fires. Do what you can. Someone asked me, is Arteta the right choice for Arsenal? Well, we don't know, but I'm certainly not against it. Like, I understand the Carlo Ancelotti argument. This is soccer/football for anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about, but I think hopefully someone like Mikel Arteta means we can sit down and actually plan long term, which is what we need. Ancelotti doesn't really stay a long time at the club. I loved it when Arteta played for Arsenal. Everyone says good things about him. We've seen it happen with what's his name, Zidane, and obviously Pep Guardiola. And I know they were number 2 at their respective clubs, but I believe in the process. So yeah, fingers crossed. Arlugo72 in the Super Chat, or maybe Relugo. In your wrestling travels, is there any difference in feel of different promotions, rings, ropes, locker room, editex? Love the helpful mental health vids. There you go, there's another one. Oh, dude, absolutely. It's incredible quite how you can go to different promotions and the experience can be really different. And one of the things that I've learned is if there's a good locker room full of good people who are all there to help each other out, it doesn't even matter what else happens. You will have a good show because you get a positive vibe, and we all know that's what I'm about. But yeah, different rings. I was in a ring recently where some guy just said to me, don't run the ropes here. That's what he said. Because don't run the ropes, it's not worth it. I've been in rings where the top rope basically doesn't work and you hit it and you look like a moron because you can't put any force against it at all. I don't know if I've used a rope ring. I should start asking. Because obviously some ropes are made of rope and some rope are made of cable. I can imagine I've probably only been in cable rings. I don't think a lot of independents use ropes, but I don't know. If you don't know as well, running the ropes really hurts first time you do it. It's really, really uncomfortable. You get used to it. But yeah, absolutely. It's quite incredible how different. And some locker rooms are quite intimidating. Not ashamed to admit that. I've sat in a corner and been a bit like questioning my life choices. Like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And you kind of, bring your shoulders in. You're a little bit worried. But we're human beings. That's what happened. And other locker rooms are completely, they welcome you and you feel part of the team within minutes and you get on with everyone. And both are fine. Both are they're not bad ways of doing it. It's just kind of funny how sometimes you have to kind of puff your chest out and be like, you're going to be okay. And other times you kind of settle into being whoever you are quite instantly. So it's like school. Wrestling is like school, and you don't know what situation you're going to walk into. LeBron James, I hope it is the LeBron James, says, any more NF reactions? Absolutely. In fact, I've done a reaction today to the new Joyner Lucas song. I know I'm late, but the way I'm trying to deal with reactions now is to stuff that I really care about and like. I don't want it to come across as I'm just trying to rank out stuff for the sake of it. So we're doing another one Joyner today, and absolutely, I love NF. NF is one of my favorites, so we will do, I'll do as much as NF as I can. Definitely want to get back to his older albums that I haven't listened to. My man Derek is there as well. He said, wanted to ask, will we be seeing an ups and downs for the last 10 years of wrestling? Take care, man. No, unfortunately not. It was a good idea, though. So I recorded AEW ups and downs for the year. Obviously, kind of weird. Yesterday, and I'll probably record ups and downs for WWE tomorrow. So you'll get them for the year. I don't think I have it in me to do it for the decade, but you never know. And a shout out to everyone now saying that they love bacon. Oh, some person says I don't like bacon. It's just the bacon debate, the absolute bacon debate. Simon, have you heard of the merch freak gimmick? Nick Jackson's killing it. No, I have not, but I will check it out. How much would it cost to see someone lick an ice cream cone with their taint? Yeah, I read that out. I'm not answering it. We move on. Simon, why aren't you ever on Arsenal Fan TV? I've never seen them recording. Obviously, I do the Arsenal Nation stuff, which I absolutely love. I feel that's one of the coolest things I feel like I was able to do this year, was be associated with them. I'm such a big Arsenal fan. I know people go crazy. But yeah, I love that. And I've got another one scheduled for January, and hopefully if they'll have me, I can do more in the new year. But I've never seen AFTV being filmed, probably because when I am at the Emirates, and we're doing the post show, they're doing their own post show. But if I ever see Robbie, yeah, I'll try and get on there for you, my friend. Have you checked out Knock Loose yet? Says Chicken Salad in the super chat. Hand on the heart for you. No, you're on my list though, and hopefully I'll get to the gym today, and eventually I will get round to them. I have a huge list now, and I appreciate it. Any new metal bands or good gym music, send them to me, and I promise I will listen. Brandon Carvalho's in super chat says, any chance of some more metal reaction? Absolutely. I wanted to do the new Alter Bridge album, but again, life was kicking my ass at the time. I was sick. But yes, when a metal album comes out that I really want to listen to, I will make sure I do it on the channel. And maybe I'll do some random ones here and there. But again, I want it to feel like I'm actually passionate about it. I don't want to start listening to albums just crapping all over them, because I'm like, what's the point, right? What's the point? What does anybody get out of that? I don't want to be a hate channel or anything. But yes, I want to react to stuff that I love, which is why I'm waiting for S&M 2 to come out, Metallica. I've deliberately stayed away from any videos. I didn't go see it in the cinema because I thought I can do it live on YouTube. I can react to it. Instead of them flip and release the thing. Idiots. They're not idiots. Baz Home in Super Chat says, for the last 6 months, you've given me hours of joy, man. You are a positive influence on my life. I'm near blind, but losing weight and want to try wrestling. Man, those messages blow my mind. I don't see myself that way. But I love the fact that is the case. Thank you, Baz. And the fact that you're losing weight and you're near blind, but you want to try wrestling, hell yeah. Have you seen Fighting With My Family? There's an amazing little side story about the blind guy that goes to wrestling school and he smashes it. And, you know, people will roll their eyes. I had someone say this to me the other day. I said, Millie, you know, you're too old for wrestling. I'm like, well, not really. I'm doing it right now. Doesn't mean I'm going to become WWE champion, but I'm having a damn good time doing it. So same to you, Baz. Again, I'm glad I can be a positive influence on your life. Again, not how I ever saw myself, but it's awesome that can come through. So damn right, man. Go out there and smash it. And if you do, let me know. And I'd love to hear the story behind it. I've got a personal question for you about what advice would you give me on trying to become an upcoming wrestler? Dude, I always offer the same. It's boring and you'll roll your eyes. Go and do it and make sure you have fun with it. Because you slowly... My injury, right, which is something I want to make a video on soon. Don't forget, back in January, February, March, I was still injured. And I've been injured since July 2018. And I didn't know what the hell was going to go on. And you do have some really, really low moments. But what it taught me, because there's always a silver lining if you look for it, is that when I do return to the ring, which I was able to do, mate, I was so nervous and I was so worried about what other people thought. And I was like, that is still important. You have to take it seriously and you have to respect it. But you got to enjoy it too. You got to be entertained. Otherwise, what are you even doing? Because I could go wrestling this weekend and my shoulder could give out, or my leg or whatever. And if I'd been so uptight and worried, then did I get anything out the other end? Maybe not. So my best advice would be to go for it, believe in yourself. And if you're not enjoying it, just take a moment to try and figure out why. There's nothing wrong with that, but that is the most important thing. Arlugo72 in the super chat says, bumps, do they hurt more or less than you thought? Oh, they're horrendous. The first time you take a bump, you literally look around like, you kidding me? That's what we do. And I think there and then you know whether you want to keep going with it. They really hurt. I mean, they're not comfortable at all, but incredibly, once you get the technique down and you kind of build up a bit of resistance, yeah, you just find a way so they don't hurt as much. It's crazy, right? I don't really understand how it works, but maybe some people have a higher tolerance for pain. I think my tolerance for pain is kind of high, but yeah, they still hurt and they'll still do a number on you. Wrestling, man. Wrestling is just strange. Say, Simon, did you know the current decade doesn't end until the end of 2020? The reason for this is because the first decade went from 1 until the end of 10. There was no year 0, food for thought. Yes, I know this is true, but I also know that one day I'm going to be dead, and I don't want to worry about such things. That's just a joke. It's a joke, but no, you are correct. Do you think Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble 2020? I do. The more I think about it, I think, and he'll beat Bray Wyatt for the title at WrestleMania 36, which... Well, who knows? We need to see it in execution. It feels a little bit long in the tooth because we've seen that so much before, but maybe it's brilliant. Maybe it's absolutely brilliant. What would your top advice be to someone within the first year of becoming a YouTuber, podcaster, content creator? Don't quit. Don't give up. It's amazing how I've done. There's so many crap videos of me all the way back to 2011 of me trying to get my foot in the door, or trying to build somewhat of an audience, or trying to create somewhat of a niche. And they're all terrible. But not only did it give me the experience that I needed, but I feel like the fact that I kept chugging away until really 2016 was when I finally felt like I'd made a little bit of a dent. It just goes to show. So do things you are passionate about. Do things that you care about. Try and make a niche for yourself, because there's so much, people doing that stuff. You need to kind of stand out. And then just see how it goes. But if you're really enjoying it, don't give up. And no, it doesn't happen overnight. And if it does all of a sudden blow up, people will think it was overnight, but it wasn't. And you've been putting the hours in, so you can feel pretty good about yourself. How do I get as cool as you, Simon Miller? Dude, I ain't cool, man. I'm the biggest geek nerd ever. And I was bullied in school, as we've done another video talking about the mental health vlogs. I was bullied in school mercifully, but in some way that helped me. We talked about this in said video. It kind of allowed me to find myself at quite a young age and knew what I did like and what I didn't like, and who I wanted to be and who I didn't want to be. Not that I would ever implore that to happen to anybody else, but I'm definitely not cool. I think I'm just strong of mind, we will go with, but I appreciate it all the same. Who do you think will win the Women's RR? I should really know what RR stands for. Women's RR. Royal Rumble, thank you. Brain. It's a good question. Shayna Baszler, actually. I won't give NXT spoilers, but given everything that's happened in the last 24 hours and plans for Shayna Baszler, or rumoured plans, I would give it to Shayna Baszler. I think it would be good. Baz Homan in Super Chat says, just to make it up to a tenner, happy holidays, filler. Thank you very much, Baz. Thank you for the kind words, and good luck with your wrestling journey and your losing of weight. Let me know how it goes. I really do appreciate it. And thank you for the Super Chats, and thank you for everyone for just being here. If you're on here just randomly, give me a subscribe. What are we up to now? We may as well keep doing the counter. 92.2, so we're exactly the same way we were on Tuesdays. We haven't added any, which is fine. 8,000 subs to go to the big 100. AJ Parker in the super chat. Always appreciate you, AJ. Quicksilver. We have myself, Nikki Crocs, Bucky Lynch, and Tolkien. Who will be next to join the Miller entourage? Well, it all depends about my verbal typos. I don't know. Who do I often make a mistake with, but it hasn't come through yet? Because I do record myself. Re-record myself when I make mistakes. I can't think of anybody. There'll be somebody, though. There must be somebody. I think Samoa Joe I screw up all the time, and I have to redo his name because he doesn't roll off the tongue as well as you'd think. Oh, I can't remember. But I like that. The Miller stable, yeah, people that I've made. Nikki Crocs, obviously Nikki Cross. Bucky Lynch, obviously Becky Lynch. I can't even remember who Tolkien was, but it was my phone. I kept putting a wrestler's name into the phone. It kept changing it to Tolkien. Was that what, like the Lord of the Rings writer? Stupid phone. I was bullied because of my disability, flippin' heck, and learnt to use self-deprecating humour against those who tried to bully me. Hard to mock you when you're already mocking yourself. Well, that is true, and I do that a lot, hence the bald asshole line. But it still doesn't make it right, man. It still doesn't make it right. Like, bullying is an awful, horrible thing, especially if you've got a disability. I mean, I'm sure that's something you didn't ask for when you were born. So for another human being not to understand that and to try and use it against you, it's more of what it is. It's not even more of. It is a reflection of them rather than you. They will be lost souls. But it sucks, and I feel for you, my friend. You have my thoughts. Do you think the Briscoe brothers will ever leave Ring of Honor? Yeah, probably. I can see them ending up in an AEW or WWE sooner or later. I think they have bad blood with WWE. I don't know. That's just me speculating or guessing. But I can see them in an AEW as that tag team division begins to grow. I do love tag team wrestling in AEW. That Kenny Omega Hangman Page versus Lucha Brothers was awesome. Then we had the Young Bucks versus the SCU match at the end. Top stuff. Absolutely top stuff. Any more backstage producer reaction videos coming in 2020? Yes, 100%. I'm going to start doing them more. If you haven't seen my WWE backstage reaction videos, there's loads up on the channel now. You can check them out. But I want it to be for the right... I don't want to just run them into the ground because I think you could do it quite quickly. So when the situation calls for it, I will. And in I'd like to do one a week, but it's got to... the situation has to call for it. But we'll see. If people want one a week, I'll do one a week, right? It's all about what your audience wants and adapting to that. Did you go to college? I think that's university over here, right, in the way the American system works. But I did. I mean, I went to Harlington Sixth Form, which is college over here. And then after that, I went to Manchester University, where I studied English literature and language. Because what a smart so-and-so I am. I'm not. I got a 2-1. So I have a BA. I'm a Bachelor of Arts. Has anybody ever asked to see that? No. But I still think university was important. I think it was a good way to, add a few more years onto your what am I going to do now life before you actually step out into the big bad world. Long time ago now. Daniel Pound, the super chat says, just showing my support to an awesome dude. Have a great holiday period and a successful 2020. So nice. All year so nice. I love my little community I built around myself. That's very kind, Daniel. Thank you very much. And same to you. I hope you have a great 2020 as well, which is only now, 2 weeks away? Under 2 weeks away. Terrifying. Where did 2019 go? Into the flipping toilet. That's where it just vanished. Oh, that's absolutely crazy. It freaks me out. Sean Gearhorn in the Super Chat says, happy holidays, Simon. Happy holidays to you, Sean. Thank you for all your support this year. Obviously, we've talked a few times. Any big plans? Oh, it moved at the last point. Any big plans for over your break? Also, are you an anime fan? And if so, which are your favorites? No, nothing really. I'm going to keep doing some work because I enjoy what I do, as we've talked about before. So I'll do as much as I can on here, but obviously What Culture, you can keep up to date with all the wrestling shenanigans. But I'll see family and friends. So sort of Monday, Tuesday, I'll see family, friends. Christmas Day, I'll see family and friends. Boxing Day, I'll see family and friends. The reason I break up into that is because it's 3 separate groups. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm actually wrestling. So if you'd like a break from your holidays and your families, you can. Friday, I'm in Tavistock. Saturday, I'm out east, Harwich I'm in. And Sunday, I'm in London at the Bedford. So if you're around, you can come down and see me wrestle. And I'm not into anime at all. Or manga, I have no knowledge about it whatsoever, apart from kind of what I pick up here and there. I don't know if I can get into it now. I kind of feel like it's passed me by so much. I need to... I don't have had the time, basically. I don't know if I had the time. So yeah, I have no anime or manga knowledge, but of course, massively respect anyone that likes that stuff. Some people kind of rag on that. I'm like, just let people like what they like. What are you into, Sean, as well? Let me know. Maybe I'll try and read one and just be massively confused. Undead FB Goo, thanks to you as well, Undead. Massive supporter all the time. Will you please react to Envision's Good for Nothing, maybe? You going to get tickets for Knotfest in Milton Keynes. I will react to Envision's Good for Nothing, Undead, because you have been very awesome to me this year, and I like to give something back. I will make sure I get that video done. Am I going to get tickets for Knotfest in Milton Keynes? I do want to go now you told me about it. I'm intrigued. So potentially, I'm going to look at my calendar and see if it all mirrors up. But yeah, I would like to go. I didn't even know they were doing it, right? I'm kind of excited. Bradley Fastuca in the Super Chat says, have you ever watched Aussie Rules football? No. Well, no, that's not true. Yes, I've seen a game here or there. But if you said, explain the rules, I'd be like, I don't know. It just seems to be beat each other up. So I would never profess to be any kind of, authority on this subject. But I know that people really like people that like it, they really like it. And I think it's quite successful in terms of the financial benefits it brings in. It's weird, isn't it? You've got this sport that's basically honed in to one part of the world. And I don't really know anything about it. Maybe I'll try and watch some Aussie Rules football over the holiday season, as well as World's Strongest Man. That's always on, and I love it. Dan Lemley in the Super Chat says, happy holidays. Thank you very much, and to you, Dan, as well. Thanks for the support again. I recognise your name from all the chats we had, so I appreciate it. Where is you versus Callahan at, somebody asks. Well, it's down in Tampa, Florida. Tickets are on sale now. Just go check out Pro Wrestling Revolver. All the information will be there. But yeah, it's in and around WrestleMania. The Thursday beforehand, pancakes and pile drivers. Thursday morning, me and Sami Callihan in a What Culture Deathmatch. That is happening, and I'm going to kick Sami Callihan's ass. So many people mess with me going, meh. I'll show you. I'll show you what I can do. Surprise you all, I tell you. Do you watch hentai? I'll be honest with you, as I always promise to be. Don't even know what hentai is. Will the Simon Miller versus Sami Callihan match ever happen? Yeah, it is. April the 4th? Hang on, when's WrestleMania? Is this going to work? No, of course, Windows 10. Why would you are working now? So WrestleMania is April the 5th. So it's happening Thursday, 2nd of April. Confirmed. You can buy tickets. This makes it real. Brandon Carvario in the Super Chat says, if you want to get into manga, read Berserk. It will blow your mind. All right. Maybe I will. I will look into it. I'm worried I'm not going to understand it at all and feel like an idiot. But Brandon and Sean, anyone that asks me, I'm willing to open my mind. I'm a pretty open-minded dude. I will check out some. I will check out some manga. Berserk. Right, Berserk. Be in my head now. Done and done. Do you think there is much higher bar for critics when it comes to AEW women's division than men's? Oh, man. I mean, the critical look when it comes to AEW and WWE is just crazy. You've got some people that are harsher on AEW. You've got some people that aren't as harsh. You've got some people that don't want you to say anything about it. Some people say that, it's a war. Look, the AEW women's division is not as good as I hoped it would be by this stage, but they're getting better. Like the few of the problems I have with it, for example, I love the Britt Baker versus Chris Stanlander match because I love the story. They're 2 and 3, they want to be number 1. Perfect. Or no, 1 and 2, sorry. That makes perfect sense. But then we tie into the Nightmare Collective stuff, and I enjoy that they're tying all that stuff together, because personally, just my opinion, I'm not massively into that. Then you're kind of like, I would have rather we focused on the sports stuff here. But again, it's something for everybody, and if you like that Nightmare Collective stuff, you probably like that it came full circle, and it is good writing in one sense. It's just I don't particularly like that story, but I do look for the day when we are familiar with All Elite Wrestling, and we know what to expect, and we can just judge it however we see fit, and people don't go crazy. And they're going to be successful. I know they are, because those guys are flipping badasses. But that doesn't mean I'm going to watch it and go, everything they're doing is great. That's unrealistic. Like, I love Metallica, but I don't go, everything they do is great. 99% of it is. But there's always something. Jason J in the super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. Finally caught you live. A couple of random things. That's all right. 1, happy holidays. Hope you're doing well in life. And to you, my friend. Exactly. Right back at you. 2, thoughts on Marty Skrull. 3, thoughts on Resident Evil 4. Hand on heart. And thanks for staying positive. You're very welcome. Thoughts on Marty Skrull? Well, I think he's incredible, pretty much, right? I mean, I remember when he was Party Marty over here in the UK. I remember when he was on Take Me Out, which is a romantic dating gaming show over here as well. And he's managed to find this character in the villain, and he absolutely smashes it. Again, I think you're coming from the US. You paid in dollars, which I appreciate, by the way, of course. But, he's made it. People know who he is. He's just left Ring of Honor. People are desperate for him to go in AEW. They were all talking about it when he was in the NWA. When I first tried to be a wrestler back in like 2004-ish, it would have been a bit later than then, maybe whenever. I was at a wrestling session and he came in, obviously years before he'd made it to where he is now, and he gave me a knee to the face. I remember this. I remember this vividly. Obviously now I think he's awesome, and I think he will end up in All Elite Wrestling, and I think he will be absolutely beloved, as he should be. And thoughts on Resident Evil 4, I have controversial opinions. I think Resident Evil 4 is fantastic. I think it's a wonderful game, but my favorite Resident Evil game is Resident Evil 5. Taking out the controversy around it, which was a little bit problematic, in terms of the gameplay mechanics, I preferred Resi 5 to Resi 4, just because I loved running around with that unlimited Magnum once you finished it once. However, Resident Evil 4 basically changed what third-person shooters, third-person action-adventure games were, so you can't overlook it. So yeah, it was an absolute beast. And I replayed it when it came out on the Xbox 360, Xbox One. And obviously, when it came out for GameCube, if you were a GameCube owner like myself, you were just desperate for anything. So I was really pumped when it came out. But yeah, Resi 4 is it's special. It's one of those games. To me, it ranks up there with Half-Life and Gears of War, Halo. These big games that came across in like this 5-6 year period that really cemented themselves and changed the direction of where games were going. And that's absolutely one of them. Resident Evil is massive. Ice Blaze in the super chat says, had a tricky queue but don't want to be a downer, so I'll save it for next year. Thank you for being a positive force in a trying year. Much love. Ice Blaze, you are more than welcome. And you're always welcome to ask whatever the hell you want. I like to pride myself on trying to take downer questions and spin them around. So if you want to send that challenge my way, please do. I'm sorry you've had somewhat of a trying year, but it's good in a way. We just got to turn it around. Turn it around, and hopefully that 2020 will be better. We can have this conversation next year, and you can say thank you so much after a great year. John Arkle says, are you going to be at the Battle of the Bedford on 26th of December? Isn't it the 27th of December? It's the 29th of December, is it not? I think it's the 29th of December. But yes, on the 29th of December, I will be at the Battle of the Bedford for EWE. Is that what it is? Maybe I'm getting my dates cues now. I don't know what it's called. I am wrestling at the Bedford on the Sunday after Christmas. Yes, that's that's what I'll say. I don't have my information in front of me, so I don't know. I saw some people criticize Kairi Sane's injury, basically saying she's too small, so it's her fault, even though it's a concussion. Easy way to sort those guys out. Fuck them. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. People talking about Johnny Sins, because of course they are. Every day I get that. I would say probably 50 times a day minimum, somebody calls me Johnny Sins. I never knew who Johnny Sins was. It's true. I Googled him. I was like, not the time, not the time to Google. What do you think was the best pay-per-view this year? Double or Nothing AEW, top of my head, but I have to go down and sit and think about it. But I remember walking away from that thinking that was absolutely awesome. Did you watch El Clasico? I tried, but I got bored after 50 minutes, so I turned it off. I was really dull, right? I mean, that was the first 0-0 in, 17 years? I was like, I like Spanish football, but I'm happy just to know the score. I don't need to watch this. Coke or Pepsi? Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels? Pick one or the other. Mine is Pepsi and Bret Hart. Yeah, mine would be too. Pepsi Max, if you want to be specific. Pepsi Max and Bret Hart would be my choice. And John says it is the 29th. Phew. Yes, I am there. I mean, I don't know who I'm facing. I'll get in touch with the promoter, but yeah, I will be. I will be there. Have you ever watched Pro Wrestling Australia? I did when Will Ospreay was there, and those matches came out because I heard good things, and he was right. It was really, really, really good. I try and watch as much pro wrestling as I can, but eventually you do need to take a break because it can wear you out. And that's it. That's all of our questions. As I wrap up, if you have any more, I'll give you a couple of minutes to throw them in there. But otherwise, look, I will be here, there, and everywhere next week, so I'll do my best to upload as much content as I can. But yeah, I'll do my best. Someone said, I meant the best WWE pay-per-view. Poof. Best pay-per-view of the year. I don't know. I'll have to look back. I'll look back and I'll get back to you. My man Sean Gearhorn at Super Chat says, did you see the video of Becky rolling Kyrie under the ring to her and try and save her from the match? I did. And I thought it was quite empowering, really. We're so quick to... And people jumped on me because I gave that match an up. And one of the reasons I gave the match an up was because I kind of took a step back and went, the craziness that they did and the way that they operated because of what was going on, I was actually quite impressed. I know Charlotte Flair had a little bit of a humdinger, but it happens to us all. But yeah, I did see that video, and I just thought, isn't it nice that they're all protecting each other and is a brotherhood or a sisterhood or a humanhood, whichever word you want to use. It kind of filled me with a bit of positivity for the day, even though it was quite a negative situation. And I think sometimes we're so crap on wrestlers, and I don't think that there's sometimes there's no need. How often do you shave your head? Once every 3 days. I'm meant to, but sometimes I don't bother, and I wear a hood in videos, you see. What's your favourite video game? Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. That's my favourite one ever. Was there a particular match that got you into wrestling? I saw Bret Hart. He was in a tag team match with the Hart Foundation. I can't remember who they were fighting. But yeah, it was that. It was probably just a couple of jobbers on Superstars or something like that. Miller, thank you for helping me through a low time in my life. That's very kind, dude. I try. If I'm able to, that's awesome. I try. Tricky question you probably answered before. The Warrior-inspired background, he seems so negative compared to you. I never really saw it as a Warrior-inspired background. I know what you mean. I don't see it that way, basically. The Ultimate Warrior was... I don't think me having... We'll call it an Ultimate Warrior-inspired background. I don't think that's me condoning any of his views, which I don't at all. I see where you're coming from, but that's just a coincidence. Anthony Tagline in Super Chat says, just want to show some love, mate. Hashtag Bacon Gang. Hashtag hand on heart. I love where these live streams go. Now we got a Bacon Gang. That's my man T-Dog as well. T-Dog on the Bacon Gang. Thank you so much, dude. And thank you to you as well, because you've been an awesome supporter this year. Again, we basically chatted live on the internet, which is a crazy thing to do, but it's been awesome. Will Okada ever go to WWE? No, I think he'd go to AEW first. I don't think he'd trust how he'd use in WWE. Can we finally see the belts? Damn it, they're over there. I'll never get them, but I promise yes. I'll make sure I got all my belts next time. Do you think CM Punk is going to have a WWE match in 2020? Gun to my head, I go with yes, even though I still massively doubt it. That's probably the nerd in me talking. And one more. I always watch Sheamus workouts with different wrestlers. It's kind of motivational. Yeah. He's good. Oh, you talk about Celtic Warrior workouts before that as too. Yeah, I like Sheamus. I think Sheamus is underrated. I think when Sheamus is gone, we're all going to look back and go, you know what? We were a bit harsh on him. He's a good dude. Again, another guy that came from over this way and absolutely smashed it. Inspiration. Absolutely inspiration. Right, that's it. I'm going to go and get on stuff with my day. I've got so much videos to do. Not that I didn't like doing this. I did. It was awesome. And thank you so much for... I just think look, I am amazed that I can do a Q&A podcast or show or whatever and people come and ask me questions. You don't have to believe it. You may think I'm talking crap, but it's absolutely true. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Like the video, share the video, subscribe. Instagram and Twitter at Simon316. Patreon.com/Simon316 if you want to check that out and get a card. I've sent everything out, but Christmas post sucks, right? Same with my merchandise, SimonMiller.BigCartel.com. I've sent everything. If it doesn't get to you, get in touch and I will do my best. But I am at the whims of the post office. And we will try and do another live stream before the end of the year, but we'll just start saying it now anyway, because it is the season. Happy Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, happy holidays, happy doing nothing, happy whatever you believe or whatever you don't believe. You be you, respect yourself, respect others, and just try and have a good time, because really that's what life is all about. You can have the dangling carrot and you keep going after it, and every time you get it, you're like, what's the next carrot? What's the next thing? What's the next thing that we're going to go after? And you should have that. It's good to be passionate. It's good to have goals, but always try and live in the now as well. Always try and live in the present. As Lanaya asked for, and a couple of other guys. 2020, flip it. Let's start doing the weekly mental health videos again. Why the hell not? If people don't mind and people don't think that I'm pushing it too much, which I worried I was, I'm more than happy to do that. I'm a big advocate for it. Maybe we'll use 2020 to talk about my own, not personal experiences, but there is a huge, patrons know, there is a huge reason why I started talking about it. It doesn't actually affect me directly, but it does affect me on a family basis, I guess. So maybe we can talk about that. Otherwise, thank you so much for the nice words, the nice comments. Again, if my videos have helped anyone, trust me, you'll put a smile on my face when I think about this randomly later, as the brain is wont to do. And yeah, we'll do another one of these, but in the meantime, just keep kicking ass.